Small cheer and great welcome makes a merry fest. So on this note, a very warm greetings to all the partakers present today. I, C.A. Ashita Shah, Vice Chairperson of Membership and Public Relations Committee of Chamber of Tax Consultants, extend a very warm cordial welcome to all the dignitaries. In the words of S.N. Goenkaji, the only conversion involved in Vipassana is from misery to happiness, from bondage to liberation. Discover real peace and harmony within yourself, and naturally this will overflow to benefit others. So today we have arranged a session on Vipassana meditation, need of the 21st century human. We are fortunate enough that we are having the presence of galaxies of learned stalwarts with us to enlighten us on this elegant and extraordinary topic this evening. I take the honor to welcome C.A. Ketan Vajani, President, Chamber of Tax Consultants. C.A. Amresh Vikamsi, Past President, ICAI. And the person for whom we all have assembled this evening, the gregarious, generous, dynamic, proactive, our session speaker, C.A. Vallabh Bhansali. I thank all the distinguished invitees for accepting our invitation and making up despite your busy schedule. We start with our today's session by the opening remarks and address by President C.A. Ketan Vajani.
Respected Vallabh Bhansali, the dignified speaker for today's evening on a very, very important subject of Vipassana. Respected past president of RCI, Kamlesh Bhai, past presidents of the chamber, Subhash sir, Dinesh Bhai, other friends sitting on the dais, committee chairperson Mr. Remal Bhai, also very enthusiastic Ashita, vice chairperson of the committee, seniors and friends. It's a great pleasure for the Chamber of Tax Consultants to arrange this meeting on a very, very relevant subject, on the subject of Vipassana, the need of the human being in the 21st century. We are all, ultimately, basically, we are all great human beings, and therefore, but in the journey of becoming human being, at times, we lost some of the significance, some of the values, because, our earthly need also we have to cater to, and therefore, in the process, we lose some of the basic thoughts, and therefore, we suffer on various counts. Vipassana is something which will make us go to that path again, which will ensure that we become a righteous person, we become absolutely the human being which the God has thought us to be, and therefore, a very relevant subject for all of us today. Chamber has been doing a lot many technical programs. I am sure you all must be taking a lot of advantage of those programs. So when it comes to something like this, which is a non-technical subject, it is all the more relevant, all the more happiness for the chamber to do this as well. Because before being a great tax professionals, which we all can become certainly, we should be a great human being. Therefore, this is an humble attempt on the part of the chambers and the MPR committee to do that. We are really blessed to have someone like Vallabh Bhai to talk on this subject, and this is one of his passion, of his love, Vipassana, and therefore what we are going to experience today from his talk is something which is going to flow directly from his heart, and which I am sure when someone speaks from heart, it will reach the heart of the other person. So I am sure it is going to be there. We are also thankful to Kamlesh Bhai for being with us today evening. Kamlesh Bhai is also doing lot many things. He is a trustee of the Global Vipassana Trust, and therefore lot many activities he also does in this area, and therefore one more fortune thing to have Kamlesh Bhai with us. Let me also thank Nilesh Bhai Vikamsi. In his absence, of course, he is out of India, and therefore he could not be with us. But let me put on records my gratitude to him, because he is the person who suggested this. He is the person who suggested that we should have this topic, and also he suggested that we should have Vallabh Bhai for this topic. So I am thankful to Nilesh Bhai as well. Friends, as far as chamber is concerned, I think all of us know chamber very well. Organization which is in the 19th year of its useful existence, and doing lot many programs, lot many conferences, lot many seminars, etc. which I think many of you must be participating, so therefore let me not take your time on introducing the chamber as such. Only if some of you are not a member of the chamber, let me just request you all to visit the chamber's website, which will give you all the information about the chamber's activities, www.ctconline.org. Please visit the website, please look into the programs which we are doing, and consider being a member so we can cater you in a better manner. There is, I think of course, Mr. will speak about the activities of the membership committee. But let me just end saying again, expressing my thanks to Vallabh and also Kamlesh Bhai for being with us. And I also ensure, I also feel that I should also thank to all of you because, if you are not there, then probably the worth of the program will not be there. So let me also express my thanks to you. Let me also mention that this is the last program of the presidential term of President, and therefore, on 4th of July, the chamber is having AGM, where I will be laying down my office, and the President-elect Vallabh is here. He is going to be taking charge of the chamber further. So this is a good occasion for me, and also I take it as a symbolic manner that after the entire year of doing not many technical programs, we are ending the year on something called Vipassana, so that the person can think about how now again I can be a better human being. So my sincere thanks to the committee for giving me this opportunity to have this program as the ending program of the chamber. With that, I think I'll pause here. I request you all to again consider being the member of the chamber, and I think I'll request Mr. to take the question further. Thank you.
Respected President of the Chamber, esteemed speaker for the evening, seniors and friends, a very good evening and a warm welcome to all of you. A very good evening and a warm welcome to all of you for the lecture meeting on Vipassana meditation, organized by the membership and the Public Relations Committee of the Chamber. Our committee acts as a bridge between our members and this esteemed organization. As the Chamber offers a lot of benefits to the members, the membership committee keeps members notified of how this membership can benefit them. This lecture meeting is a part of the self-awareness series undertaken by our committee with the core objective of personal development of the public at large. We conduct programs which enrich individuals' awareness and give us all a chance to look inward. Thus, we are able to recognize the effect that we have on others. When we look outwards, we understand how people view us. People who are aware of how others see them are more likely to be empathetic to others with different perspectives. Leaders whose self-perception matches others' perceptions are more likely to empower, include, and recognize others. Without much ado, I once again welcome all of you for this lecture meeting, and now I invite our Vice Chairperson C.A. Ashita to carry forward the proceedings. Thank you.
Thank you, Nisha. Great leaders don't set out to be a leader. They set out to make a difference. It's never about the role, it's always about the goal. Enthusiasm combined with dedication. CA Kamlesh Vikamsi has always been actively involved with activities of ICAI, a dedicated, down-to-earth personality with great acumen. He is professional who is always on go and happy to help professionals. A versatile personality whose profile runs into many pages, but I just throw light on the brief version. He is a senior partner, Kimchi Kuwaji and Company LLP, chartered accountant since 1982, having over 80 years of experience in the areas of auditing, taxation, corporate and personal advisory services, business and management consulting services, due diligence, valuation, inspection, investigation. Past president of ICAI, he has also been chairperson of Audit Advisory Committee of United Nations Children's Fund, New York, Independent Management Advisory Committee of International Telecommunication Union, Geneva, Switzerland, with effect from 1st January 2020, and a member since 1st January member of Audit Committee of World Meteorological Organization, Geneva, Switzerland, with effect from 1st March 2019. National Advisory Board, Manav Sadhan Vikas Sanstha. He is independent director of several companies, trustee and treasurer of Global Vipassana Foundation, an internationally renowned trust which has constructed Global Pagoda in Mumbai. The Global Pagoda is the world's largest stone dome built without any supporting pillars. It is built combining ancient Indian and modern technology to enable it to last for at least 2000 years. Trustee of Dhammapatan Vipassana Trust, trustee of a World of Opportunity Foundation. With this, I welcome Kamlesh Vikamsi sir. I request Vice President Parag Dev to welcome our Kamlesh sir with a bouquet. I request Kamlesh sir to share his insights.
Yetan, Niska, Hemal, Ashika, and of course, my friend, philosopher and guide, Vallabh, and dignitaries of the dais. At the outset, I'm extremely happy that the Chamber of Tax Consultants have picked up this topic on Vipassana meditation. I mean, we are all professionals. The members of the chamber are all professionals, and therefore one would wonder as to why the topic of Vipassana was picked up. I am doubly glad because Vallabh has been chosen as a speaker to speak on Vipassana. I have been associated with Vallabh since my starting of career, and of course he was also very young when we both got associated, both professionally and in the journey of Vipassana. And who better person than Vallabh, who was and is a busy professional. One is aware he is a chartered accountant by qualification and a renowned investment banker. I mean, he must have raised, and I know for a fact that Anam was the only Indian brand who had raised capital for several, Indian companies as well as international companies. Such a busy professional, what has Vipassana got to do with it? And therefore, I think it is very apt that we have a speaker today who will explain us what Vipassana is to a busy professional. And mind you, this journey of Vipassana has not started just a few years back. It had started when he was very young. He is a very passionate, spiritual person to whom we will interact, and when we listen to him, we will know the depth of his knowledge and what he is going to share with us. Ashita had mentioned that I must talk about Vipassana, but I think we all must hear Vallabh. And I am also too eager to hear Vallabh on his journey of Vipassana, how Vipassana has helped him in his career and in his spiritual journey. So with these words, thank you very much, Ethan, for inviting me, and I am very happy to be here to listen to Vallabh. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Before you pray, believe. Before you speak, listen. Before you spend, earn. Before you write, think. Before you quit, try. And before you die, just live. This is well believed by our speaker, Vallabh Bhansali sir. It is my proud privilege to introduce him today. We must appreciate the fact that despite his bad health, he believes in show must go on ideology, and he is between us to share his insight on this wonderful topic. Vallabh Bhansali has been a devoted Vipassana meditator for more than 3 decades and credits a lot of his success to Vipassana meditation. It has taught him to see things as they really are and experience its benefits on both mind and body. He was formerly the chairman and now a trustee of the Global Vipassana Foundation. He created a popular film on 50 years of the current journey of Vipassana in its purest form. He is a well-known thought leader, mentor, investor and businessman of India. He is the co-founder of Enam Securities, the reputed banking and investment group, which in 2010 merged its celebrated advisory business with Axis Bank. Since then, he has devoted his life mainly to social, national and spiritual endeavors. He started the Desh Apnaye Foundation that works with government and private schools to instill at a young age the importance of being actizens or alert, informed and active citizens. He is the mentor and trustee of Bharatiya Jain Sangathan, one of the largest multifaceted NGOs of the country. Amongst many programs of national importance, unique is the Value Education Program has been rolled out in several thousand government schools of Maharashtra and Goa and now extending to other states. He also started the Truth Talks to highlight the practical benefits of a truthful life and society. He is the founding governing body member of FLAME, the pioneering liberal arts university, as well as the Indian School of Public Policy. Besides hosting a popular TV show on volunteerism, he has co-produced two much acclaimed documentaries to capture India's civilization, the only living ancient civilization in the world, and one on the history of yoga that lies at the core of all Indian things. He has served on the board of Reserve Bank of India and on several governmental policy making and advisory committees. He has been admitted to the Hall of Fame of the Institute of Chartered Accountants and has been bestowed with 2 honorary doctorates. With this brief introduction, I welcome our speaker today. I request President Sri to please welcome our speaker. Not eclipsing between you and the speaker, I request Honorable Sir to share his insights.
The distinguished office bearers of the Chamber of Tax Consultants, my friend and a very reliable guide as an auditor, as a tax advisor, as a family member, dearest Kamlesh Bhai, Chetan Bhai, Vimal Bhai, Nishita, and very kind of Ashita to say such nice things about me. A lot of friends here and members of this wonderful body of professionals. I must say I didn't know much about it. In the few minutes I spent with your office bearers, I had a very, very impressive account of the activities, the history of Chamber, and I decided to take more interest and learn more about this. So heartiest congratulations to all those great people who created a body like this. I'm also delighted to see seniors and mentors like Zara Sahib here and Picholia ji. There are a lot of other friends in the small gathering that we have today. It's a great delight to be amongst members of such a wonderful institution. And more importantly, to be talking about truly one of the greatest happenings, greatest events in the history of mankind, for the discovery of Vipassana. What is Vipassana? So a lot of you, because now compared to when I started in 1989, Vipassana is pretty well known. And some of its very unique features to some very disturbing features, very intriguing features like it's an 11-day course, you have to keep quiet, you get cut off, you can't use your mobile, you don't get dinner. And all of those things are known that it is taught free. And most people come back speaking very highly about it. So a lot of these things are known. But there are also some questions. Why does it have to be 10 days? In this instant world, why can't they have a chota program? Why does it have to be so tough that you have to be cut off and so on and so forth? And why people come so raving about it? That no, you must go and try it out. They may not be able to explain it well, but they would say, no, you must go. Family members, friends, office seniors are a big trouble because they impose their authority on you. It happens all the time. So I'm glad that whatever number of people are here have come to understand what is this. Simply stated, Vipassana is exactly what the word says. Vipassana is a Pali word and Sanskrit word is Vipassana. Vi, as we know, Vigyan, Vishesh. Vi is Vishesh. Pasyana. So some of those who are familiar with the Gita or other Indian scriptures, you have this word Pashyanti. Vimudhanam Pashyanti Pashyanti Gnana Chakshusha. So the word Pashyanti. Some of its words, Pashyanti, etc. is available in a lot of other Indian languages. So Pashyanti means to see. And see how? With your insight. At an experiential level. At the actual level. What the reality is. So just as a tax consultant, auditor, you do not go by what the auditor will come and say, or what the client will come and say. You say, no, let me examine the data. You want to examine the data. You want to go to the root of it. You vouch, you verify, you cross-tally, you get independent source. We understand the value of knowing things as they are. That is as far as your client work is concerned. What about your own reality? Who are you? How much do you know about yourself? So there is one thing very common. It doesn't matter how successful you are. It doesn't matter how accomplished you are in terms of features. Handsome, tall, fair, dark, rich, poor, educated, uneducated. Something is common with all. You know what? We all demand of life. मेरे मन की मर्जी होनी चाहिए. This is my common feature. Without ever worrying, without ever asking how much of it is deserving and why am I asking who should actually fulfill this. So when we are born, we are used to parents listening to us. Then you become successful, you have money, you think money can buy certain things. Your authority in your office are set up, so you get certain things. But do we ever question why this arrangement? Why am I asking? Vipassana examines this reality of yours in a direct manner. So Vipassana can be described as examination of the real phenomenon that you are, which is a mind-body phenomenon. Your mind and body, we think of them separately. My thoughts are in my mind, my body is whatever the doctor treats. The reality is that the mind and body are one unit. They are constantly interacting with each other. Every interaction produces a sensation, you react to that. Vipassana enables you to examine this. And where is this happening? This is happening at a very deep level. Even in your common language, we refer to this phenomenon. When something happens, my stomach is sinking. Something happened at my level, but I find my stomach is sinking. My heart is beating. I am chilled. I am so jealous and I am burning. If you are jealous, why are you burning? You do not know that how mind and body are reacting together and how they are creating a cycle, and it becomes so difficult to come out of the whole cycle. That is why whenever we are in an emotional state, there is a big motion in emotion. It is so overpowering, you do not know how to get out of it. Sleeping pills, other palliatives, etc. is what we do. Vipassana enables you to examine that directly. What is the trouble? Even if you sense it, this is happening at a very deep level of your existence, very deep level of your mind. You cannot get there easily. It is happening very rapidly. Right? When your anger comes, it keeps coming. It is coming so rapidly. Your fear, your anxiety, your jealousy. Or you just feel like doing this, that, etc. It is so powerful. You have no chance. Vipassana gives you the power to understand, examine all this. Why do you need 10 days? You need 10 days to go through a program. So you have 4 or 5 elements of that program. First is to be able to examine yourself at this body-mind interactive level. At a deep level, you need hygiene. It's like an operation. It's like a surgery. We call it a surgical operation of your mind. And you need hygienic conditions. Just as an operating theater, no one is allowed, everything is cut off. You are also cut off from everything so that you can be kept safe in the global environment of the ashram. So first thing. Whenever we have a course going on, we shut it off. No outsider can come into this. We create a very pure atmosphere. Then you get cut off from all the other communications. Is that why? Because you have to sharpen your mind to be able to see the subtle reality that is occurring all the time. It's very subtle. So for 3 days, we will make you experience, we'll give you a power, develop a power to sharpen your mind, to be able to go within yourself, to examine your breath, that the breath, incoming breath, outgoing breath, is just a gross reality. There are subtle realities. That power that you get in 3 days of concentration, of going within, that will enable you to go and examine yourself at a deeper body level. Oh, something is happening in the body all the time. There are sensations all around. In every cell, something is happening. So over the next 6-7 days, you develop that ability. Next, you develop the ability. When you are able to sense those sensations, you find that you don't like it, you get very upset. You like it, you feel very happy. Then you are taught, don't react. How not to react is the greatest capability. So by the 8th day, 9th day, 10th day, you develop this capability. And as you go through the whole program, you come to the 10th day, when your global silence is broken, you will discover something that you couldn't even ever imagine. What is the program? It is knowledge of the self. It is discovering the peace within oneself. It is discovering the power within oneself. All these are beautiful words in our Swa-Gyan, Swa-Shanti, Swa-Shakti, Swa. We all talk about Swa. Soham. How to discover this, how to experience this is given by the person. You need 10 days to go through this program. And 10 days is the bare minimum to be able to do such a major operation and get a glimpse of what you are, who you really are. Another way to describe Vipassana is, it is choiceless, effortless observation of the reality, moment to moment. So that's an overall why 10 days, why it is so tough, because you are achieving something extraordinary which you can't even imagine. Unless you go through a program, and even when you go through your program, you find your habit pattern is so strong that while what you are asked to do is choiceless and effortless, if you do nothing, just observe what is happening, you find it difficult. And that's the discovery. Oh, I may be whatever star in the world, what is my real capability when it comes to examining and dealing with myself? So with those opening remarks, why not we move on? Why not we experience, get on to the experience journey? Vipassana is all about direct experience. Something remarkable about the Vipassana program is that there is no theory, no teaching. The program runs in this manner, that the previous evening you are given an instruction, do this. For the next 24 hours you are trying to practice what you are being told. No jnana is given. After 24 hours of your struggle, experience, good, bad, there is this wonderful discourse of Acharya going. And that will explain your difficulties, and you will find, oh, he is addressing my difficulty. Whosoever you are, anywhere in the world, every student feels my difficulty, my question is being answered. It's such a wonderful discourse. So first experience, then some understanding, then the next set of experiences. It's a beautiful experience-based program. So I also want to give you an experience of the first step of Vipassana, which we call Anapana. Many of you seem to be Vipassana meditators. How many of you are Vipassana meditators? Good many, at least 10-15%. Good. How many of you have taken Anapana session? Chandi, you have taken? Of course. So there are a few. It's a wonderful opportunity for those who have not taken. So we can dim the lights, and I will tell you very quickly. So in preparation of Anapana, I suggest that sit in a comfortable position in which you can sit for the next 20 odd minutes comfortably. Close your eyes. Switch off your phone so that you are not distracted. Try and keep your back, neck, and head straight. If you slouch, just come back gently to an erect position. You don't have to be tense and tight, just straight. And take your entire attention on the small area at the entrance of your nose and nostrils. And observe what is happening naturally. Incoming breath, outgoing breath, whatever is happening naturally. No changing, no pranayama, no adding anything to whatever is. Just observe the breath as it comes in and as it goes out in this little area at the entrance of the nostrils, over the lips, inside the nostrils. Keep your entire attention focused on this small area. Further instructions will be given in the noble voice of Acharya Gurika in Hindi. Continue to concentrate on your exercise. शांति प्रेमी सज्जनों, सन्नारियों, शांति किसे नहीं चाहिए, सुख किसे नहीं चाहिए। जीवन में कितने प्रकार की अशांतियां आती रहती हैं, दुख आता रहता है, उनसे कैसे छुटकारा पाएं, कैसे सही मायने में सुख शांति का जीवन जिए। भगवान बुद्ध ने विपश्यना की साधना द्वारा सुख शांति का जीवन जीने का एक बहुत अच्छा मार्ग सिखाया, सच्चाई का मार्ग। अपने बारे में सच्चाई को जानना, जानते जानते दुख दूर होता है। विपश्यना की साधना का ये पैर है जो वास्तव में सिखाया जा रहा है। प्रारंभिक कदम है, पर प्रारंभिक कदम भी बहुत कल्याणकारी, बहुत मंगलकारी। सारा मार्ग सच्चाई के सहारे सहारे अपने बारे में क्या सच्चाई है उसी को आलम्बन बनाकर इस मार्ग पर चलना है। तो ये नन्हा सा कदम जो आज उठाने जा रहे हो, ये विपश्यना की पहली विद्या का प्रारंभिक कदम है। मन को एकाग्र करना है, सच्चाई के सारे एकाग्र करना है। सांस के सारे मन को एकाग्र करना है। सांस सबके लिए बहुत महत्वपूर्ण सच्चाई है। सच्चाई है जिसे हम जन्म से लेकर मृत्यु तक अनुभव करते हैं। अब उसी के सहारे चित्त को एकाग्र करना है, निर्मल करना है। तो आलम्बन में हमारा सांस ही रहेगा। देखो, सहज स्वाभाविक सांस जो अपने स्वभाव से आता है, अपने स्वभाव से जाता है। लंबा है तो लंबा है, पोछा है तो पोछा है। पोछे को लंबा नहीं करना है, सांस की कोई कसरत नहीं है करनी है। प्राणायाम बिल्कुल नहीं है। प्राणायाम के अपने लाभ हैं, लेकिन इस विद्या के विपरीत है। यहाँ तो सहज स्वाभाविक सांस, एक महत्वपूर्ण नियम है कि इसके साथ कोई शब्द न जुड़ जाए, कोई कल्पना न जुड़ जाए। नहीं तो ध्यान उस शब्द पर रहेगा, उस कल्पना पर रहेगा, सांस को भूल जाएंगे। हमारा आलम्बन तो हमारा सांस है, तो बस केवल सांस जैसे भी आ रहा है हम जान रहे हैं, जैसे भी जा रहा है हम जान रहे हैं। हमारा काम केवल जानने का है, उसमें कुछ फेरबदल नहीं करना, जैसा है वैसा है। बुद्ध ने कहा यथा भूत, जैसा है वैसा है, लंबा है तो लंबा है, पूछा है तो पूछा है, बाएं नासिका से गुजरता है तो बाएं नासिका से, दाहिने से गुजरता है तो दाहिने से। जान रहे हैं, हमारा काम केवल जानना है। विपश्यना के 10 दिनों की लंबी यात्रा अब यहीं से आरंभ करते हैं। 10 दिन का समय नहीं निकाल सकते, तो चलो यहीं से आरंभ करेंगे। 10 दिन की जगह 10 मिनट के समय पालती मारकर कमर सीधी करके बैठेंगे, आंखें बंद। जब आंख की जरूरत नहीं है तो चश्मा उतार दें, मुंह बंद। सारा ध्यान नासिका के द्वारों पर आ रहा है, सांस आ रहा है, सांस जा रहा है, अपने स्वभाव से जैसे भी आ रहा है, जैसे भी जा रहा है, अपने स्वभाव से। इसके साथ और कुछ जुड़ने न पाए। कुछ भी जुड़ेगा तो साधना कमजोर हो जाएगी। साधना का आलम्बन केवल एक है, अपने आप आ गया, एक ही साधे सब सदे, सब साधे सब खोए। आलम्बन एक है, तो बस एक आलम्बन पर एक काम करना है। इसके साथ वो 2-4 जोड़ दिए तो खिचड़ी हो गई, काम की बात नहीं हुई। फिर सुख साफ हो देंगे। इसलिए सांस के सिवाय और कुछ नहीं, कोई कल्पना नहीं, किसी मान्यता का आरोपण नहीं, बस अपने स्वभाव से सांस आ रहा है, सांस जा रहा है। मन बढ़ गया तो वापस ले आएंगे। चिंता करने की बात नहीं है, स्वभाव धर्म का पुराना स्वभाव है, वो एक व्यक्तित्व नहीं, इधर भागा उधर भागा हम फिर ले आए, केवल सांस कर दिया। इसके साथ कुछ शब्द जोड़ा, कोई मंत्र जोड़ा, कोई कल्पना जोड़ी तो बिगड़ जाएगा। हमने जो रास्ता अपनाया है और आगे जाकर के आनापान का पूरा रास्ता अपनाएंगे, फिर विपश्यना का पूरा रास्ता अपनाएंगे, तो देखेंगे कितना कल्याण होता है। ये जो प्रारंभिक कदम उठा रहे हैं इसमें भी कल्याण। बस ख्याल इस बात पर रखना है कि इसके साथ
उसको जुड़ने नहीं पाए। हमारे यहाँ एक महान संत ने कहा, कापिया न जाई ओ गीता न होई, आपो आप निरंजन सोई। कापिया न जाए, इस पर कुछ स्थापित कर देना, गीता न होई, कुछ अपनी ओर से निर्माण करने का काम नहीं करना। अपने आप हो रहा है, जो अपने आप हो रहा है उसे हम जान रहे हैं। हमारा काम जानने का है। मन भटक गया, घबराए नहीं, फिर सांस को ले आए। हमारा काम सांस को जानने का है। बाधाएं आई तो हो रहे हैं और बहुत लंबे समय तक भी ये प्रारंभिक अवस्था है ना, तो बहुत लंबे समय तक भी नहीं, बस 10 मिनट था, सुबह 10 मिनट, शाम को या रात को 10 मिनट, पालक में आगे बैठ गए, कमर सीधी, आंखें बंद, मुंह बंद, अब सांस तो आ ही रहा है, बस सांस आ रहा है, सांस जा रहा है, आ रहा है, जा रहा है। ये सच्चाई का पहला कदम है, सच्चाई के आलंबन का पहला कदम है। इसी के सहारे जब आगे बढ़ेंगे तो आनापान और गहराइयों तक कर लेंगे। इस 10 मिनट के आनापान में भी बहुत शांति मिलेगी, बहुत सुख मिलेगा। जब आनापान का पूरा कोर्स कर लेंगे तो और शांति मिलेगी, और उसके साथ जब विपश्यना का कोर्स कर लेंगे बहुत शांति मिलेगी। पर कहीं से आरंभ तो हो, तो जो विपश्यना साधना का है अंग्रेजी में किंडरगार्टन है, यही से काम शुरू करेंगे। एकदम ख्याल रखेंगे कि हमारे लिए केवल सांस का आलम्बन है, इसके अतिरिक्त और कुछ नहीं। आएंगे कई विचार बीच में आएंगे, उनसे मन हटाकर फिर सांस करा देंगे। मन भटकेगा तो घबराए देंगे, फिर सांस करा देंगे। यूं 10 मिनट भी करेंगे, 10 मिनट सुबह, 10 मिनट शाम को या रात को सोने के पहले, तो उसके परिणाम आने शुरू हो जाएंगे, अच्छे परिणाम आएंगे। धर्म का हर कदम, सच्चाई का हर कदम अच्छे परिणाम भी लाता है, सुख लाता है, शांति लाता है। जीवन में कोई ऐसी घटना घट गई, अनचाही घटना घट गई और अब बेचैन हो गए, व्याकुल हो गए, तो तुरंत सांस का सहारा, सांस आ रहा है, जा रहा है, आ रहा है, जा रहा है। थोड़ी देर भी देखा तो देखोगे कि बिल्कुल व्याकुल हुआ मन थोड़ा शांत हो जाएगा। और सुबह शाम का अभ्यास करोगे तो खूब शांत होता चला जाएगा, खूब शांत होता चला जाएगा। काम करना होगा, कोई अन्य तुम्हें मार्ग बता सकता है, साधना की विधि बता सकता है, करना तो तुम्हें ही पड़ेगा। हर व्यक्ति को स्वयं करना होता है, क्योंकि हर व्यक्ति अपना मालिक खुद है। कोई और मालिक नहीं। तभी उद्योग आ गया, अक्ता ही अक्तनो नाथो, कोई ना तो रासिया। तो कौन पड़े ऐसा मालिक? हम अपने मालिक हैं और हम अपनी गति बनाते हैं। अक्ता ही अक्तनो नाथो, अक्ता ही अक्तनो गति। सुगति बनाए दुर्गति बनाए हमारे हाथ में। तो जो हमारे हाथ में है तो हम दुर्गति क्यों बनाए? सुगति बनाएंगे तो अभी से आरंभ करेंगे, सुगति का काम अभी से आरंभ करेंगे। बस केवल सांस को जान रहे हैं, न उसे अच्छा मानते हैं न उसे बुरा मानते हैं। सच्चाई है, इस क्षण की ये सच्चाई है और हम उसको जान रहे हैं। बस उस सच्चाई को बदलने की कोशिश नहीं करनी, जैसी है वैसी है। बस 10 मिनट सुबह 10 मिनट शाम को या रात को परिणाम आने शुरू हो गया। परिणाम ऐसे आएंगे, फिर मन करेगा कि वह ये तो 10 मिनट की आनापान थी, अब पूरे 3 दिनों की आनापान करें। 10 दिनों वाली प्रश्न करें, बहुत लाभ होगा। इस 10 मिनट की साधना से जो लाभ होगा वो विश्वास दिलाएगा कि आगे के कदम हमें बहुत ज्यादा सुख शांति देने वाले हैं। पहले इतना तो करें, खूब मन को सजग रखकर सबल रखकर भटकने लगा और भटक गया तो वापस पुराना। तो बिना व्याकुल हुए फिर सांस तो लिया, सांस तो है, फिर भटका, फिर सांस तो लिया। क्यों करते करते आदत पड़ जाएगी। 10 मिनट आसानी से सांस पर मन लगा रहेगा और लगा रहेगा तो परिणाम आने शुरू हो जाएंगे, सुख आना शुरू हो जाएगा, शांति आने शुरू हो जाएगी। अरे जीवन में और क्या चाहिए? किसी का तो अभाव, सुख नहीं, शांति नहीं, तो बेचैनियां ही बेचैनियां। और सुख शांति के पहला कदम, सुख शांति के पहले कदम उठने शुरू हो जाए तो आगे और ज्यादा सुख शांति प्राप्त होगी, और ज्यादा सुख शांति प्राप्त होगी। एक काम और पूर्ण होगा, 10 मिनट तक सांस को देखते देखते जरा सी भी शांति मिले तो मन में मंगल काम लगाने की। जैसे थोड़ी सी भी शांति मुझे मिली, ऐसे सबको मिले। अरे सभी तो दुखी हैं, सबके मन में सुख आए, शांति आए, सबका मंगल हो, सबका कल्याण हो, सबका भला हो। धर्म महान है, कल्याण ही करता है, तो यही भाव है। धर्म सदा मंगल करे, धर्म करे कल्याण, धर्म सदा रक्षा करे, धर्म बड़ा बलवान। मंगलो मंगलो सबका मंगल हो, सबका मंगल हो।
Take your time to open your eyes, no hurry. what did you feel? Sorry.
Fresh.
Peace of mind.
Light. Very light.
Very light.
Thoughts. Thoughts.
Lot of thoughts coming back.
Cut off from the world.
Sorry.
Cut off from the world.
Cut off from the world. Can somebody, I cannot hear you. I'm also a little harder of hearing. Can somebody repeat? Please listen to us and loud.
The mind runs away and it comes
Mind runs away and then you bring back. So were you able to bring back many times? Was that a discovery? That you can bring back the mind? Anybody else? Anybody who could not do it? Could not do it at all? In such conditions, you can change your position to become comfortable. You don't have to force yourself. Idea, when you are erect, you are less likely to be lazy. Otherwise, you may tend to, because it's still new in you, you will start feeling drowsy and sleepy, as a lot of people did. It's also such a wonderful lazy hall, everything is quiet, nice time to sleep.
I went to sleep 3 times. This is 20 minutes.
But you came back. So there was something alert in your mind. And you felt very refreshed, or how do you feel? Very refreshed. Tell me one more thing. Was your breath uniform or it was changing all the time? And why do you think it was changing? Your body was not changing, you were not doing anything extraordinary, doing the same thing. And why was your breath changing? If you are running or you're doing some exercise, then it changes 100%. Why was it changing? Sorry? So why should it change again and again? Mind wavers. So we are talking about breath, but we are talking about mind. So you see the connection? Your mind changes, your breath changes. If you observe this, now you've got a key to your mind. Any time your mind is unsteady, your breath will become unsteady. And very simple tool, you observe your breath, it starts becoming steady. So when your breath is unsteady and you start observing it, it is restless. It becomes difficult too, because your mind is also restless. Now you are trying to bring peace to your mind. You can't catch the mind, but you catch the breath. So this body-mind relationship you can use by just observing your breath. That's the practice. As you practice this, that in all moments of crisis, in all moments of excitement, in all moments of unsteadiness, you observe your breath starts becoming normal. Automatically the monkey mind behind, you caught its tail. It cannot jump. What power it gives you. Can you understand the science? This is not Hinduism, this is not Jainism, this is not Islam, this is not Buddhism, this is not any ism. This is pure science. No guru, no belief, no dogma, nothing. Your breath, your mind, by training, you develop the capability to catch the tail of your monkey mind and ask to sit down. There is sorrow, there is grief, there is misery, whatever it is. Fear, anxiety, the mind is running, catch the tail. That's why it's a river. Why did you feel peace? Did most of you feel peace, lightness, pressure? Why? There's a commentary going on. Be alert, all your attention focused on one thing, bring your mind back. But you're feeling peace. Why are you feeling peace? You stop doing something that you keep doing all the time. That when your mind runs in 20 directions and you try and bring it to one place, it becomes peaceful. So our habit is to, as I said, it doesn't matter who you are, I want. So any thought that comes in your mind, you start partying with the mind, isn't it? When will it get over? All is not air conditioned properly. Who's sitting next to me? What is going to happen tonight? What is there for dinner? That walk is not done. Whatever thought comes, it becomes very important thought. Until some other thought comes and catches you. Then that thought becomes important. Then what happened to the previous thought? It was so important the last minute. Now this thought is important. Jumping from one thought to the other, we got this habit. Who is to control it? Your habit, your mind. You want to play party with every thought. How will you get ever doing this? Vipassana, by making you experience, like the lady said, my mind was running away, was bringing it back. Where were you bringing it back from this party? Come back from this party back to this boring party. Boring party becomes the fantastic party. This is the science of Vipassana. Isn't it simple? Complicated is our mind. The science is very simple. Any questions that you have before we go a little more into the science? Anyone had? Yes, please.
My lady, somebody said that you should have chant mantras and all that. Is it not the mantras are not required? You can't study only concentrating on the fast and
Good question. You will chant your mantra, somebody else will chant another mantra. This problem of monkey mind is a universal problem. It doesn't matter what is your background, from this guru or that guru. Buddha said this problem of sorrow is universal. We need a universal solution. Somebody who can't chant a mantra, what will he do? After some time, somebody says, this mantra is even more powerful. Then you want to try that mantra. So your mind is constantly restless. Secondly, mantra is an imposition on the reality. Isn't it? You create a reality, you feel quiet. You listen to good music, you will feel quiet. Your mind will be like you're watching a cricket match, you are lost in it, you forget your grief, you forget your grief, whatever it is. Your mind is tuned with the match. After the match, all those problems that you had kept aside, they come back. You're not dealing with them. You need peace when that monkey is jumping. So only by addressing the monkey, come. You want to jump? Jump. Here, I'll catch you. So you're not running away. So this is all about truth. Vipassana means examining the truth as it is, dealing with it. So mantra, imagination, intellectualization, thinking good thoughts. The creating of a state of mind which you cannot create when there is difficulty, which is artificial, which is imposed. So therefore he gave this, that one great saint, Guru Nanak said this. Guru Nanak was one of the greatest saints. We do not know about it, more than that Sardarjis follow that. I invite you to read Guru Nanak, one of the greatest saints, and what science he taught. He said, Thapiya na jai. You cannot impose anything. Kita na ho. By doing something also doesn't happen. Vipassana is about not doing anything. Apo niranjana suri. Just by observing, you will become pure and quiet. This is Guru Nanak saying, not Buddha saying. So many other saints have also talked about it. So if you read Kabir Das is full of it. Okay. You got the answer? That's why all this mantra, images, thought, all of them are not universal. All of them are direct position. They don't work. It takes a lot of effort. This is, your breath is there. Learn to catch the breath. 2 breaths, 3 breaths, 4 breaths. Your control is. I'll give you a story of my father. My father was not a Vipassana meditator, but he was a deeply advanced spiritual person. So there are many incidents of his life, but I'll give you one. I lost my brother at a very young age, 51. He was my elder brother. My father was very fond of him. He was a very capable brother, the leader of our house, and did wonderful things. So I had to break the news of his death to me. My father was in his morning prayer. He did all kinds of prayers. At home, I was born in a Jain family, but he recited Gita every day, so he was a very open-minded person, a truly spiritual person. So he came from his prayer. I said, Bapuji sir, back jaiye. We speak Hindi at home. He said, हाँ बोल भी रहा है. तो भाई साहब नहीं ले. Shock. Then he says, मुझे 2 मिनट दे दे. Shut his eyes for 30-40 seconds or so. Then he says, जो होता है अच्छी. You lose your son, you lose your favorite son. There's no crying, there's no sorrow. जो होता है अच्छी. This is the control of the mind based on reality. You're not running away from the reality. Exactly. So now you explain the science further. In this great country, this is the country of rishis. Rishi किसे कहते हैं? Rit means nature. She is someone who is investigating, a scientist who is exploring nature. Selflessly, no copyrights, no patents, only tapasya and compassion for the world. They were the great rishis of India. They didn't impose it on anybody, they just shared their wisdom. So the rishis found one great truth. Yatha pinde tatha brahmande. Also sometimes said, Yat pinde tat brahmande. That what is in you, what is your microcosm, is the macrocosm. There's a whole connection between the great universe and you. Now in this 21st century, right, I said this is a need for 21st century. And this is the big reality. And you experienced your monkey mind running away, right? You said my mind running. Just look at what your reality is. Are you feeling steady in your chair just now? You are. But is the floor under you steady? Tell me. Yes. Yes, you feel it is steady. Your floor is resting on the earth. And is your earth steady or moving? And at what speed is it moving? Anybody? Anybody knows? 1,000 miles an hour. 1,000 miles. Your plane speed average is 800-900 kilometers. Then you do domestic travel. 1,000 miles. It is 1,600 kilometers. And is that all? That the earth is rotating at 1,000. Earth is also revolving around the sun. And at what speed? 67,000 miles per hour. It's moving around the sun. And what about the whole solar system? Is that steady or that is also moving around the galaxy? At what speed? 5,14,000 miles per hour. This is the movement going around you. What is happening inside you? So your breath is 15 to 20 breaths or 12 to 20 breaths depending upon whatever. Your heart is pumping 80, 90, 100 times per minute. Your cells are changing. Your cells are breathing all the time. There are million bacteria in your stomach alone which are active. There's so much activity inside, there's so much activity outside. And then you got all this knowledge, all these challenges, this message, that message. Can you see the unsteady world that we have to face? And yet you felt steady in your chair. Why? There must be a reason, right? Beautiful science. Why?
Mind is quiet after the experience.
Even if I made you conscious that all this movement is happening, you feel unsteady.
Because we are focusing on the chair and not on the earth movement.
Anybody else? Gravity. There is this gravity. Nature has created this beautiful mechanism that because the earth rotates on its axis, it is able to hold relative position at only 1000 miles per hour, whereas so much is happening at great speeds. That because of gravity, so if you can also find your gravity, will you feel steady? Why you feel steady and light is this focusing on the breath and catching on to it again and again, again and again. You found your gravity. When you are able to go further and experience body sensations, this grip on your gravity becomes even stronger. I give you only one example from science. I can give you many examples that how the whole science is arranged, how an atom is arranged, how any forest is arranged, how there is this constant change, and then there is constant equilibrium. It is beautifully explained in another wisdom, shloka of wisdom. Many of you would have recited it also. Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purna. Please complete it. Purnasya Purnamada. What is it talking about? There is so much happening, but yet it remains the same. Now this is only philosophy, this is all only faith, but this is direct experience of it. It changes you. As he said, परिणाम आने शुरू हो जाएंगे, change आना शुरू हो जाएगा. So there is a big difference between learning philosophy and experiencing philosophy. Vipassana does not teach, it lets you discover. When you discover it yourself, it becomes your truth. The truth starts working for you. That's why it's satya ka path. Kim sachiyara hoye, huye, kude, tutte, pali. There's another Guru Nanak, say. That's how the science works. Buddha's story is the same as our story. Buddha was a brilliant student, very curious, very noble, couldn't hurt anybody. But yet he was very brilliant, he was a great soldier, swordsman, archer, everything, all of that. But he was very curious. He had great capabilities. So he wanted the answer that why do we become miserable? Why should we make ourselves miserable? We are intelligent people. We don't want to be miserable, but we become miserable again and again. So he is a prince. He has all the good things. But he says, I enjoy a good thing, and the moment the good thing goes, back to normal. No good thing gives me the same pleasure again and again. We say it's okay. What is our life? Our life is, it's okay to be boring most of the time. Once in a while we party. We listen to a song, look at a WhatsApp, weekend we party, go and play, stretch, laze. That's okay for us, which is all relief from sorrow. The rest of the time we are okay to be in sorrow. Buddha said, no, I want an answer to this. Why are we miserable? He said, where to go? So his father had put lot of scholars. He knew all the isms of India. He also was a great Dhyani. He had advanced in Dhyan. But he said the Dhyan using all these other systems, etc. was not benefiting us. So he left home. He said, I must find an answer. And after doing a lot of things, he said, problem lies within. I must go within. And that's how he discovered the science of Vipassana, how to go within. He had a natural experience of Anapan. He practices Anapan and goes into Vipassana and discovers the whole science. When he discovers this whole science, as he becomes steady and pure, the whole universe, Siddha Pinde, Tatha Brahmande, all the secrets of Brahmand open up before him. And he's a beautiful expression. Beautiful expression. He says, Puppe, Anansate, Sudhambe, Suchakam Udpadi, Nana Udpadi, Panya Udpadi, Vijja Udpadi, Aloko Udpadi. He says, oh, I've never heard this before. Now what is unfolding scientifically by discovery process, everybody through the Vipassana path can go through the same experience. Toye Anand Sutte Sudhambe. Oh, this whole science. Dharma means law of nature. Right? पानी का धर्म क्या है? आग का धर्म क्या है? जला. Right? It is not Hindu arg, it is not Jain arg. Fire burns. So also this whole nature has an order. So the ability to see this order, oh, I got this jnana chakshu by becoming this steady, focused in myself, developing this gravitational power. I have now the vision to be able to understand this. Nana Udpadi, oh, I have start understanding everything. Then he says Panya Udpadi. This whole concept of pragya is mentioned, sthit pragnasya ka bhasha, right? Those who recite Gita, they talk about sthit pragna darshan. We don't know what it means. So pragya means this direct experience of reality every moment, every aspect. So Panya Udpadi. Then he says Vijja Udpadi. Oh, I developed a whole technique which everybody can use. And as I think of the whole world with compassion and how anybody can use this technique to understand the whole law of the universe, how peaceful they will be. And this is Aloko Udpadi, the whole universe is lit up with that knowledge. It's such a beautiful experience. Use the scientific path to discover. As you go into Vipassana, as you experience this peace, you become steady. Only the upper part of your mind became steady in this 10-minute exercise. Then as you go deeper, the deeper parts of your mind, the subconscious mind, which is full of, what is the proportion between conscious mind and subconscious mind? Anybody can tell me? We all operated conscious mind, right? And you are so successful. Kamlesh Bhai is successful, Sada Saab was very successful, all using our conscious mind, so powerful. But what is the ratio of conscious mind and the subconscious mind?
1:9.
1 to 9.
1:9.
Anybody else? Maybe 0.001 to 99. Great professionals in a great moment of crisis lose everything. So operating at intellectual level is one thing, operating at emotional level. What controls your habit patterns? Suddenly what thought comes up? Take this case of great French guy, right, who was to become the president of America. He goes and stays in a Caribbean hotel and gets involved with a housemaid. But didn't he know this is not to be done? Take the story of Ram, Lakshman, Sita. Sita, great Sati, she left the palace and came. नहीं मेरा पति जाएगा वहाँ जाऊँगा जंगल में जा रहे हैं ग्रेट तपस्वी का जीवन जी रही है and then she sees a golden deer. What is she got to do with the golden deer? Your subconscious, all the sanskar in your subconscious. Oh. And then even after Lakshman reminds Ram then said, don't go by it. He said, नहीं जाना है, जाओ तुम निकम्मे पति हो, तुम जाओ. Then Lakshman says, भाभी, राम तकलीफ में नहीं आ सकते, आप मत चक्कर में पड़ो. बोले नहीं, तू निकम्मा है, तू बुरा आदमी है. Look at the sanskar, the subconscious. So Lakshman could say, Lakshman, not enough. We all have a Lakshman Rekha of this good Vyavhar moral life. If you learn to live in this Lakshman Rekha moral, which all the niyam which are common in India, all over the world, ahimsa, satya, don't accumulate, don't violate others, etc., etc. They are all our Lakshman Rekhas. But we find a way. Chartered accountants are very good at finding a way. This kind. We all find a way. We don't want Lakshman Rekha. To violate a Lakshman Rekha, but our subconscious mind. So voracious subconscious mind. So as you practice Vipassana, this subconscious mind starts coming up. And the reactions will happen. And you learn not to react. When you learn not to react, what happens? You would have seen in Vipassana literature, there is a wheel, chakra. The same chakra is in our flag, right? There is a chakra. You know what is that chakra? Anybody knows what is that chakra? क्या चक्कर है चक्र का? Sorry. This is the स्वभाव चक्र. जो हमारा स्वभाव का चक्र है. There are 12 arcs on one side, 12 arcs on the other side. And those 12 arcs, Buddha identified each of them. Avidya, Pachaya, Sankhara, Pachaya, Vinyana, Pachaya, etc., etc. Jati, Mara, Jaranam, Mara, Sopaya, Sopaya, Sankhara. He says, okay, if you don't have control over mind, you don't know how the mind functions. They call it avidya, ignorance. Because you are ignorant of something happening inside you, you are ignorant not to react to it. You will react, and this chakra will keep going on, keep going. Now, once you learn Vipassana, you know how to break that chakra, as you broke in that 10-minute anapa. Even for a few moments, when the chakra broke, your mind running away, coming back. Mind running away, coming back. I want this, I want that, coming back. See, the chakra starts rotating on the other side. First, you stop the chakra for some time. So the power of the chakra reduces. Then you stop second time. Out of 10,000 times, you stop it once. You stop it 2 times. You stop it 3 times. So every time you stop, the speed of the chakra reduces. And this power to hold on to chakra grows. As this power grows, just as in a moon cycle, what happens? First day of the no moon, after no moon, there is all darkness. First day of Vipassana, all darkness. Second day, you can't even notice it. Third day, दूज का चांद आ गया, तीज का चांद आ गया, थोड़ा थोड़ा दिखता है. And then as you come to the 10th day of the cycle, right? Suddenly you can start seeing the whole moon. There is a silhouette or an outline. That's how your power will go. You will not become full moon one day. Slowly you will move from no moon to full moon. That's how you will go. So this observation of your own reality, how this chakra of dukh is moving inside you, how it can be reversed by learning to hold on, using your own reality, your own truth, is the power of Vipassana. It gives you the power over yourself, right? That's why Guruji said it, Atta hi attano natho, atta hi attano gati. When I do not know, when there is something happening at subconscious mind, it will create a result for me. It is inevitable. Your wife will tell you, husband will tell you, yeah, रात को गुस्सा, रात को depression, इसको सर दुख रहा है. The result will always follow. Now you stop the cause, the effect stops. This was the great finding of Buddha. That you remove the cause, and your cause is ignorance of what is happening inside you, the ignorance of this habit pattern of reacting to what is happening inside you. You think you are reacting to an event outside. If the events outside were the cause of reactions, all would be reacting uniformly. We don't react uniformly. We all have different power inside. Naturally, we have to develop this control. So, my friends, in those 10 minutes, you discovered, if you think, the greatest power nature has given you. Can you describe the greatest power? What is that great power that you discovered? You didn't think about it, now reflect and tell me. To observe your inner reality and to develop it fully so that you can control what is happening. Reaction to what is happening. You cannot control what is happening outside, but you can change the reaction to what is happening outside. As my father's story I told you, this is मेरा बेटा नहीं है, जो चला गया, जो है. And he says, oh, it's all aligned to nature. I am alive. Let's move on. Throughout his life, he had so many events of this kind. So there are masters who may not have done Vipassana, but who understand this power, who develop this power, so they live a pure life. So this life of purity, life of concentration of your mind, the life of internal awareness, we call it Shil, Samadhi, and Prajna. 3 steps of this journey of Vipassana. Lots of people in the world are doing it. Why people come reading? Because there are no problems. There is no VIP, there is no Gurudam, there is no ritual, there is no money chamela. Nobody will tell you, अच्छा अभी तुम 10 पकड़ को पकड़ के लेके आना, इतना donation collect करके आना. Nobody tells you. It's taught free. आपकी जितनी मर्जी उतना देना. But your heart feels, oh, somebody donated for my sake. I was eating, I was sleeping, I had a room. All these facilities because somebody donated for me. They built the center. They built to run this place. People give their own donation. And that's how we have 200 centers around the world. What kind of people are coming? Even Rahul Gandhi said, I was able to face the 20 hours or whatever number of hours of interrogation because I know Vipassana. Priyanka Gandhi, after her father's death, was a very disturbed person. She learned Vipassana. She had come for one of our functions also. She went and forgave that lady, whosoever was the murderer. She said, I have no problem. I have compassion for you. You are miscarried in your mind. I want to tell you a couple of stories. Then we do one small practice session. We still have time. How many of you have heard about Dr. Yuval Harari? Anybody? The author of Sapiens. Probably the greatest author of our times in this world. His book Sapiens and Lewis, the 21st century and whatever, even 21 lessons for 21st century. He was a brilliant person, student at Oxford, student of history. He was so miserable, he used to go to psychiatrists and all. His problem was, he became a very cynical person. He said, everyone who writes history, writes their own history. Right? Now we think that this government is trying to write history in its own way. Previous governments wrote history. So he said, how can you believe whatever is right? So in his own behavior also, dealing with people also was so cynical, he was going mad. Brilliant student, his recall, his explanation, understanding and all. And then he said, he went to a psychiatrist, this guy is a money-minded person. This guy is that guy, this guy is this. Somebody said, why don't you try Vipassana? He said, oh, this is another focus, mambo jumbo, I don't want to go. Then somebody said, oh, it is taught free. She said, at least this problem is not there, that they are after my money in some way. So he is greatly persuaded because he was recommended this. And he goes there. Day 1, he hears this. You don't have to believe anybody. You discover your own truth and you believe only in that. He said, wow, I come to the right place. Changed his life. Dr. Yuval Harari, you cannot get 5 minutes from him. He's so busy. Must listen to his videos on anything. He has great videos of Vipassana also, but on anything. So articulate. And in his book, 21 Lessons for 21st Century, the last chapter is on Vipassana. He says, you will get all these technologies, the more technologies you will get, all the disturbance will only grow. ये भी कर सकते हैं, ये कर सकते हैं, ये कैसे कर सकते हैं? Some people will use this technology to catch my privacy. You will go crazy. You will need something to become stable, and that will be Vipassana. So Dr. Yuval Harari's life changed with Vipassana. And now he does, this man was no 5 minutes, anywhere from 30 to 60 days of Vipassana every year. He says, if I did not do this, my ability to understand the reality will be very limited. I am successful as an author. I have written all these great books only because I became a Vipassana practitioner. When I steady my mind and I see the reality very clearly. Why I say that a lot of credit to what the world believes is success. I believe it's all luck and coincidence. But still, is due to Vipassana. That your mind going into 20 directions, it learns to live in this moment. What is the crisis? What is the decision? Let's just focus on it. We say present is the present, the rest is all imagination. But we don't practice. Vipassana gives you this moment breath, this reality. Monkey jumping up and down, I have the power, 2 breaths, 3 breaths, I'm here in this moment. So the whole paralysis and the fantasy of the future, the paralysis of the future, all the history of the past, they all suddenly become zero. Your mind's bandwidth is free. What you decision would have taken days and months and hours, you decide very quickly. There is no greed, there is no fear. Whatever temptations, proposals come to you, you just cut through. Yeah, doesn't fit. ये हमारे hygiene में नहीं है, हमको नहीं खत्म हो। अरे इतना बड़ा मौका चला जाएगा। ये पिंडे तक ब्रह्मांड, there is an order. मेरा है वो अपने आप आ जाएगा। When you start living a life like this, good people come to you. You know that? The power of attraction. When you are pure, you are not wanting to grab anybody's thing. You want to fulfill all your promises. All the good people will find you. You don't have to do anything. You become a lamp. Right? The lamp cannot see everybody. It is such a small lamp. But all the people in the dark can see the lamp. I discovered that in my own life. That I kept a few promises. I became a good person to deal with. I told my team, be the person you want to deal with. Don't do anything which you would not like with somebody else. One simple principle. It became a game changer. So this Sheila, or principles of morality, when instead of being just a matter of rote and recitation, it becomes real when you learn it from experience, practice from experience. They become such powerful tools to attract all the success. So I can tell you the story of Goenka ji, brilliant person, got double promotion in school. He came first in whole of Burma at his matriculate examination. But a Marwadi family, बोले छोड़ो इतना होशियार है, अब पढ़ाई करके क्या करोगे? कमाने को लग जा भैया, पढ़ाई करते रहेंगे बाकी प्रोफेसर लोग. He saw that he becomes a super successful businessman, becomes miserable, becomes so sick as migraine. He is born in a staunch Sanatani family. They do Krishna Bhakti. He said, for half an hour, 1 hour, I'll sit and do Bhakti and cry. Oh Bhagwan, तुम कैसे उतने अच्छे हो, मैं कैसा हूँ, वगैरह. So deeply involved in it. And he can't find a cure around the world. Somebody suggests go and do Vipassana. So he says, वो तो बुद्ध का है, मैं कैसे जाऊँ? मैं नहीं जा सकता. He says, भैया इतना बीमार है, तू जा, बहुत अच्छा है. He says, okay. He goes and meets the teacher. And teacher is a government servant. And he says, sir, I want to cure my migraine. He said, go. You're coming here to cure your migraine. We don't treat migraine. We treat your fundamental problem in life. You say, sorry, sir, I will do what you say. Takes the course. And the rest is history. They're very interesting stories. The rest is history. The migraine is cured. He was on morphine and he was going to die of morphine more than migraine. His life changed. So many stories of how pure science, people say, हमारी बीमारी दूर हो गई विपश्यना जाने से, हमारा स्वभाव तो चेंज हो ही गया, हम सक्सेसफुल हो गए बिजनेस में. You become successful because you have a better mind, you have a purer mind. The science is at work. So there are so many stories to tell. But I will stop here. We'll take a few question answer. We will do a 10-minute session to close the session. Go back with that power and peace. Any questions that you have? All the organizational related questions I avoided because now in the age of website you go and you can check everything. So I'll just give you a few websites. We have 4, 5, 6 centers around Bombay. One small one at Goregaon just started. One at Vallabh, one at Deepwala, one at Khagar, one at, next to the pagoda. But of course at India. And it doesn't matter. People in America and Europe and all, the booking gets filled in 5 minutes. They open 2 months in advance, 12 midnight, booking opens, people wait for that. In the next 5 minutes, the center is full. So many times, so many places, this is the phenomenon in the world. India also is similar, but with 5, 6 centers, the situation is better because India has so many centers. So you can take any center and go. So I think there are a lot of organizational details which you can get from bridhamma.org. I'll repeat, bridhamma.org. But I would like to take a few questions before we do practice. Is it clear?
Yes. So in the 10 days course you do only this only?
You do this.
And no reading, no nothing?
No reading, only Guruji's discourses every day, 1.5 hours. For many people it is a great highlight. Guruji himself is a great highlight. He's so full of compassion, so full of wisdom. The way he will engage with every student is something to be experienced. But that's all that we do. And this only will give you a little capability to catch your monkey mind. But even that is great. We do 20-day, 30-day, 45-day, 60-day courses also to get to this subconscious mind and clean it. Yeah.
No, but I have done 2 times 11-day course for the first time. So there is about 15 years ago now. So how do I restart?
So you can do 1-day courses. There are 3-day courses available for refresher. So you have all these group sittings which you can play at home and practice together. So you get started. So I would highly suggest that you read something, little reading, take a 1-day course if you are very reluctant, then take a 3-day course, go and take a 10-day course. Do that.
This 1-day course is only for refreshers?
Only it's a refresher course. You have to first complete a 10-day course. And many times you have done a 10-day course long back, it's all washed out. But you can still try, but then you don't get that result. So you do 1 day, 2 courses, 3 courses. I did so many 1-day courses after I started to get refreshed and do. So this is
the whole day program.
the whole day program. 4 o'clock the bell rings. By 4:30 you are expected to be in the hall. 4:30 to 6:30 you meditate. Meditate means only this breath and then body work. And then you get a breakfast at 6:30, very wholesome breakfast. And then you take a bath and get ready by 8 o'clock. 8 to 11 again, you meditate. You get a break every 1 hour. Idea is not to force you. You can sit for long, fine. Otherwise, you can take a break every 1 hour or so. And 11 o'clock you get lunch. Again, a wholesome lunch. Everything is simple and frugal. You have to go as a bhikshu because you are not paying anything. You have to go and ask for it and you get the food. accepted. It's all very wholesome, a lot of care is taken. Then you rest until 1 o'clock. Go back 1 to 5, long session. You practice. 5 o'clock you get a break. For the new beginners, you will get a small snack, some fruit, some tea, coffee. If you are an old student, you get only number 1. And then 6 o'clock, you go back to meditation. 7:15 or so, there is this discourse. After the discourse, you practice for a small session. 9 o'clock, if you have question answers, you can have some questions. So then you go and retire, back up at 4 o'clock. In between, you have any difficulty about administration, your stay, that there is no water in my room, I need a battery cell. You're expected to go with all your necessities so that you don't talk. Idea is that don't break your silence even for administrative things. But you have questions about the Vidya, 12 o'clock you can go to the teacher. In between sessions also you can go to the teacher. So there are volunteers who will help you with the administrative thing. There is a teacher who is available almost round the clock in case of great difficulty to help you. And then 10 days, this 10th day, your silence breaks. In the morning, around 10 o'clock, there is a great metta session or this goodwill session. Just as I said, share your goodwill with the world. There is a great goodwill session. Then you open, then you start talking, then you forget that you have to be silent. You talk so much. But it's okay, you have to come back to the world. And then the next day morning, is wonderful discourse to give you goodbye, farewell. So 10.5 day course, practically 11.
What about people with medical problems?
Sorry?
What about people with medical problems like blood pressure?
Yes, you must share them in advance with the teacher. So when you fill the form, you write all your difficulties there, your current practices, difficulties. And then the teacher will guide you whether you should do or not do. If you do, what care you have to take at the center. Whatever facilities are necessary, some people who are on a wheelchair, some people need a chair to sit on, some people have special diet requirements, all of them they try and take care. Yes, please.
My family has done Vipassana a lot of times, but what I see is like, I want to know your experiences, how do you do it daily, because the India will not change anything. It's my feeling, of course it has to be done repeatedly, but being I want to know your experience, how you do it daily, or what kind of practice you do daily, so that it stays with us for the whole day, for the whole week or month.
So, like anything else, you learn yoga once, but if you don't practice, it doesn't give you any benefit. You have to force yourself to keep your yoga practice, right? You done accounting, and if you don't practice, you don't refresh. That's why even professional bodies have refresher courses. If your knowledge rusts, you have to refresh it. And this is such subtle knowledge. You're dealing with a monkey mind, your own mind, and the subconscious. So you've got to recognize that to remain on top of it, you've got to practice. Just as a bodybuilder or just as a someone with a good body has to go to the gym and practice. There's no way, if you don't practice for a few days, all your muscle will sag. Similarly, this control muscle starts sagging. So you have to practice. So you decide, no practice, no breakfast. You keep that routine, suddenly you'll be able to practice. Other difficulty with that practice is that you expect that your home experience will be the same as the center. No. At the center there is so much purity, your mind is focused only on one thing. Over the 10-day period, all the kachara just stops, reduces so much. When you are in life, this kachara building every minute. Family members, business, world, whatnot. But that's where you have to fight. Vipassana is not about living in a monastery. Vipassana is living here and practicing. So you do practice as much as you can by forcing yourself 1 hour morning, 1 hour evening. You will save so much time taking decisions. Your need for entertainment will go away after some time. Kya picture dekhna, kya TV dekhna, it doesn't give you any excitement. All the excitement is created by you. Nothing is created by them. When you are not in good mood, they cannot make you laugh. It's your mood to engage with somebody. That you laugh, you cry, you dance. You recognize that, and then you know you're fine. इतना टाइम बच जाएगा, कितना काम कर सकते. Your productivity will just multiply. That's how Yuval Harari and so many people are working. Modi himself, he is a great admirer of Vipassana and Goenkaji and Buddha and all. So he practices it in his own way. See, Attahi, Attano Nato, you are your own master, your destiny is in your hands. You want to change your habits, you will get result X. You don't want to change your habits, what can anybody do? They can teach you, but they can't. You have to do your own. Please.
Someone who has deep faith in Karma Yoga, how does he relate to?
Vipassana will make you a better Karma Yogi. Right? When we do Karma Yoga, what is Arjun's situation? Arjun is in a dilemma, isn't it? To do or not to do, to go how far? Again that decision making, again that moha comes in. This, by just observing your breath, by being in the reality, you start connecting with the law of nature, you start getting messages and clarity. Eventually, what does Gita say? Since you talked about Karma Yoga, there are wonderful passages explaining what happens and what the answer is. He says, Utkramantam sthitam vapi gunjanam va gunanvitam vimudhananu pashyanti gnana chakshusha. He says, all this is arising and multiplying. As I said, some thought comes to your mind and you run with this. So, gunanvitam, it is all multiplying. But they cannot see. Why they can't see? Because they gave the gnana chakshu. Remember what Buddha said? Ubberam sutte sudhamme chakhum udpadi. First thing was chakhu. The ability to see. Gita also says, Vimudhanam pashyanti gnana chakshusha. Someone who has got this jnana chakshu can see it. Others are removed. That means they are infatuated. They have moha. When you moha, your karma yoga is affected. As your moha dissipates with this jnana chakshu, you become a better karma yogi. A Jain will become a better Jain, a Hindu will become a better Hindu, Muslim better Buddhist. You can keep your religion if you after some time you start seeing it yourself, then you know what to do and what not to do. There is no forcing. That's why people from all religions, all religious leaders come. Nuns come, priests come, Maulvis come, Pandits come, all people come. They recognize it. Our dharma is very good. Become better, whatever you want. Shall we practice for 10 minutes? My demand is legitimate because the program started later than planned. All right. Please dim the lights. Back to concentrating on your breath. Nothing but the breath. Natural breath. Instructions follow. Entire attention focused at the entrance of your nostrils.
आओ 10 मिनट आनापान विस्तार का अभ्यास करें। आनापान विस्तार का अभ्यास करें। और दिमाग पर बैठ जाए, आराम से सुखपूर्वक जिस आसन में आराम से बैठ सकते हैं उसी आसन में बैठें। कमर, पीठ, गर्दन सीध, आंखें बंद रखें। ध्यान के समय हमेशा आंखें बंद रहनी चाहिए। आंखें खुलेगी तो मन भटक जाए, तो आंखें बंद ही रहेगी। जो लोग ऐसे लगाते हैं वो ऐसा उतार कर ध्यान करें। मुंह भी बंद रखें। सांस मुंह से नहीं लेना है, नासिका से लेना है। तो सारा ध्यान नासिका के द्वारों पर, सारा ध्यान नासिका के द्वारों पर केंद्रित करके जानते रहें। सांस भीतर आ रहा है तो आ रहा है, बाहर जा रहा है तो जा रहा है, यही जानना है। बस इसे जानते रहें, निरंतरता से जानते रहें और ध्यान से जानते रहें। सांस बाईं नासिका में से गुजर रहा है या दाहिनी नासिका में से गुजर रहा है, या दोनों नासिकाओं में से गुजर रहा है, और ध्यान से बड़े ध्यान से जाने। उसे बदलने की कोशिश नहीं करें। बायां है तो बायां है, दायां है तो दायां है, केवल जाने, केवल जानना ही है। सांस लंबा है, छोटा है तो छोटा है, उसे भी बदलने की कोशिश नहीं करें। केवल जानना है, केवल जानना है। ये सांस आया, ये सांस गया, ये सांस आया, ये सांस गया। सांस से सांस पर मन लगाए, सांस से सांस पर मन लगाए। मन भटके तो उसे फिर सांस पर ले आ, भटकने ही न दें, पर भटके तो फिर सांस पर ले आ। मन को नाक के दरवाजों पर लगाए रखें। दृढ़ता पूर्वक लगाए रखें। म्हणाल तिकडे खूप सगळे एक भी सांस बिना जानकारी के भीतर आने न पाए। एक भी सांस बिना जानकारी के बाहर जाने न पाए। एक सांस पर तैयार रहे। एक सांस के पहरेदारी होती रही। खूब सजग, खूब सजग, खूब सावधान, सावधान, सावधान। अपने ही सांस के प्रति सावधान, सांस के आगमन के प्रति सावधान।
All the participants who have gathered here under the aegis of the chamber, I wish you all great peace, great resolve, walk this path of Dhamma, the path to develop the infinite, the greatest power that nature has given you, to know yourself, to come out of difficulties in this life, and to liberate one day from all difficulties. Thank you for your very patient hearing and participation. Thank you very much.